All right, let's see here. Let's do a mic check. Okay, I think we can leave the volume there. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man that can play. And we're back to try this once again. I streamed earlier today, and it turned out to be disastrous. I think about the first 20 minutes of the stream that I was trying to get caught up on the latest sim racing and gaming news. My microphone was muted, so I was basically talking to no one. And then once the racing got underway, it turns out that the stream was horribly out of sync. And I couldn't try to figure out what the problem was in the middle of a race. But once the stream was over and I started checking my equipment, it turns out that I have a lot of devices connected to my internet. I have 4 PCs, a PlayStation, an Xbox, 3 VR headsets, a couple of smartphones, a PlayStation Vita, Nintendo Switch. All these things are connected to my internet. And the biggest contributing factor that I believe why the last stream was out of sync was a couple of my PCs had like 5 windows open, and some of those windows was running content from Twitch and YouTube, so it took a big chunk out of the broadband, and I think that's why it was out of sync. So hopefully that will not happen this stream, because I turned everything off or disconnected it. So as of right now, the only things running on the internet right now is the streaming PC, and the streaming PC, my PlayStation, and what would normally be my gaming PC. I had to separate the game audio and the speech chat audio and allocate them to one PC each. So it's a little bit complicated to explain. It's just something I had to do. But at the end of the day, I hope this stream will not be out of sync. So let's get signed up for a race. So we're going to head back to Spa for the 24 lap endurance race, and I am going to stick with the Lexus. Entry period starts at 7 minutes. So I will leave it there. So essentially this is going to be about 25 minutes before we can get into a race. We got 7 minutes before we can register for the race, and then there's still like a 15-minute period for other people to register for the race. So all that being said, depending on how this plays out, I'm looking to do one race definitely. Depending on how things play out, I may do a second race. It all depends on how long I have to wait to register for the next race. It depends on how I feel after the first race. Another reason why I'm doing this stream again is because the previous stream left me furious. People like, let me turn this down a little bit more. People like Rory Alexander, I have to tip my hat to him for the incredible amount of patience that he shows in dealing with dirty drivers on GT7. But in his case, since he's in the A class, he doesn't run into near as many dirty drivers as I do in the B class. So I think that if he ran into as many dirty drivers as I did in the B class, maybe a little bit of emotions would come out of him as well. But for the most part, he does a good job of you know, keeping a stiff upper lip, as we used to say back in the days, taking the high road and you know, not letting his emotions take over. I was left furious last stream because someone blatantly knocked me off the track and into the wall, and it damaged my car as well. And so that made me buckle down the second race, and I had my mind made up that I was going to start being aggressive, and if I see gaps, I was going to go for them and force my way in. And that race, I actually had a decent result. I think I actually, no, that race I finished 9th, but had I not screwed up, I would have finished that race in 5th. So, so the competitor in me is back to give it another shot and see if we can get in there and see if we can get a good finish. You know, there's a part of me that says, just get in here, have fun, entertain the audience, and let that be that. But another part of me says I'm a competitor. It's been in my blood for God knows how long, and there's a part of me that wants to get back to the A class, but I will not stoop to the level of some of these dirty racers in the B class who desperately want to get to the A class. And getting to the A class is a critical part of how they plan. Being dirty is a critical part of how they plan to get to the A class. So it's just it's a line I won't cross. I would never feel good about winning something, feeling like I cheated to do it. So I think there's a difference when it comes to sim racing. I think there's a difference between cheating and being aggressive. So we can register in about 3 minutes. And I think that to recap, while we're waiting for registration to open, to recap on some of the things that I was talking about in the first stream, the MetaQuest 3 launches tomorrow, and several VR content creators had access to the Quest 3S for the past couple of weeks, and the embargo must have lifted, so there's a good number of review videos out there in regards to the Quest 3S. I would say that the Quest 3S is an upgrade from the Quest 2. It still uses the same Fresnel lenses as the Quest 2. 96 degree field of view versus the 110 of the Quest 3. It still has the 3-click IPD adjustment. Pass-through, you know, is definitely better than the Quest 2. Color's definitely better. There was something else that I was going to say in regards to the pass-through, I guess, but the pass-through lacks the depth sensor that the Quest 3 has. It also has a single LED panel, whereas the Quest 3 has dual LED panels, something I didn't know because I thought the Quest 3 had a single LCD panel, whereas the Quest Pro has dual mini LED panels, which are with local dimming, which gives it nice blacks, even though it doesn't have OLED panels. So anyway, Quest 3 launches for $300 tomorrow, and anyone who purchases a Quest 3S or Quest 3 moving forward will get a free copy of the upcoming Batman Arkham Shadows game. So that alone to me might be worth the purchase of a Quest 3 or a 3S. It is, as far as VR games that are not sim racing games, Batman Arkham Shadows is probably the one game that I was absolutely looking forward to once it was announced. This is coming from the same developers that brought us Iron Man VR that was on the original PSVR 1. Later, Camouflage were acquired by Meta. They are now owned by Meta, so naturally this Batman game is a Quest 3 exclusive. Looking forward to that. Other things happening in the not so distant future. November 7th, we have the Metro Awakening game releasing, which is Metro in VR, and that happens to release November 7th on the same day as the PS5 Pro. So that's going to be a very interesting day because as far as flat screen gamers goes, you know, they'll probably want to see the difference between, you know, the PS5 and PS5 Pro for games that were enhanced, and then it'll be the same way for PSVR 2 users, as they are claiming that PSVR 2 is going to benefit from the PS5 Pro. We can register now. So mainly what I'm waiting for is to see what people have to say about this game right here, GT7. I'm waiting to see what people have to say as far as the PSVR 2 improvements to the game. Is the picture sharper? Is there less reprojection? You know, so those are the things that I'm curious about, because that will be the deciding factor whether or not I pick up a PS5 Pro. So then I think in December, I think we have Behemoth, which people are already calling a VR Game of the Year. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen in December or not, but we also have Alien Incursion coming from Servios as an Alien game in VR. So we got some bangers coming up here in the next few months. And then I think as far as sim racing goes, I don't think we have any major updates coming up in the near future. The Le Mans Ultimate, their next DLC drop probably won't happen until the end of the year or early 2025. We already know that Assetto Corsa Evo will be in early access on PC on January 16th of next year, and we don't have a concrete date yet on version 1.6 for Automobilista 2, which is supposed to give us any cars that they're missing, because they now have IMSA license. They do have most of the cars that you see in IMSA races, but whatever we're missing, they're supposed to give us that. And I think when the version 1.6 drops, one of the first things I think we're supposed to get is Road Atlanta and the Audi R8 as a free car, so that'll be cool. And then Le Mans Low Fuel Motorsports is also supposed to be supported for Automobilist 2, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And so when that drops, I definitely have to figure out what kind of rotation I'm going to have and how many streams I plan to do a week. As of right now, things sitting as they are, it's pretty much Le Mans Ultimate, GT7, you know, Sunday streams at 8:30 p.m. with my boy, the Great Beer Gamer, as we do Automobilist community Sunday races. So I streamed it last week. I didn't stream it yesterday because I was late. I thought I would be on time, but I ended up being late, so all I did was just turn on the computer and jump in. I didn't have time to set up the stream. And then let's see here. Might try to find a way to work Forza in, even though Forza does not have VR support. Now that I've resolved my force feedback issues with Forza, I checked it out and I actually had fun with it. So, and I think that when it comes to the tracks, like the off-track details, the crowd, the tents, the flags, the floodlights for the tracks and stuff like that, I think Forza probably has the best looking. They definitely have the best looking night races, and whereas GT7 has better looking cars, but I think Forza has the better looking tracks in terms of the world looking alive. So might try to work Forza in. So it's like, you know, I guess we got a good problem to have as sim racers, because a lot of sim racing games and not enough time to play them. But I'll try to figure out something. Ideally, I'd like to do 3 streams a week, maybe 4. So if I get set up on 4, I'll figure out what the lineup is going to be. You know, I'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I definitely know that Le Mans Ultimate is definitely going to be there. That's my #1 sim. GT7 will remain, despite my occasional frustrations with this game, because people have supported me through the years on GT Sport and GT7, so I got to keep that in the lineup. AMS2 once we get version 1.6, and one game that could end up being a dark horse in my lineup could be Rensport, depending on how that turns out when they finally give VR users access to the online races, because as of right now, VR users are locked out of the online races, and that's why you haven't seen me stream Rensport. But I think I'm going to dive in and take a look at an online race flat screen, see how that looks, so I can get a feel for what I think it might be like when VR users can jump in online races. So we still got 9 minutes to go. Guess I could throw a little bit of sports in there. Shout out to the Detroit Lions, who dismantled the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. And the Lions ran a play called the hook and ladder. Anybody who's a hardcore football fan knows what that play is. And they ran the hook and ladder to one of their blockers. And that particular play has fans calling the Detroit Lions the most disrespectful team in sports, because at the time they ran that hook and ladder on Dallas, they were already up by 37 points, and they continued to, you know, pour the heat on Dallas, and they didn't take their foot off the gas. So the Lions are 4-1. They have a crucial game next week against the undefeated Minnesota Vikings, and this is a division game, so this is a game that's definitely going to come into play later on in the year for the playoff picture. So again, shout out to the Detroit Lions, and Go Lions, and let's get these Vikings on Sunday. And I think that's about it as far as things that I can think of. Take a quick look at Twitter, see what's trending on Twitter. So scrolling down, yeah, so yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Lions stuff pop up on my timeline because I do follow several Lions outlets. I follow the official Detroit Lions page. I follow Barry Sanders and Billy Sims, former running backs for the Detroit Lions. There's some gaming stuff going on here. Yeah, but at the moment, most of the stuff I'm seeing on my Twitter timeline is Detroit Lions stuff, mixed in with a little bit of Quest 3 stuff. You know, tweets from VR content creators who did a review on the headset. All right. So this morning, before I went live, oh cool, we got 4 minutes before a race starts. So this morning, I was surfing on YouTube, and I was watching two different streams between Rory Alexander and Key 25. They were in a race together, and they had a collision, and they both had different opinions as to who was at fault. I don't think either of them didn't say anything disrespectful. I think just both of them, held their ground as to professing that they didn't think they were at fault. So that was an interesting scenario. So no sense in getting in there trying to. I should have did a couple of practice laps, but no point now. I mean, if I did, all I would be doing is just have enough time to do an out lap. But I prefer the NSX, but because we're on Spa, I'm going with the Lexus RCF, because if you get a good exit out of the apex with the Lexus, it is slightly faster than the NSX on straights. So, but the NSX I think takes corners better, but I've accounted for that by shifting the brake bias, one click to the rear. Oh, let me clean my glasses so we can get ready to suit up. Minutes 30 seconds. So I still plan to be aggressive this race, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think the first lap I'm just gonna be careful and try to avoid any wrecks and to try to avoid the dirty racers, and then from there, wherever I end up, if I have the pace, then I'll just slowly start trying to pick people off one by one. Whereas the last race where I said I was going to be aggressive, I was, and there was one or two people who tried to take me out, but I was able to avoid it. And trying to fight through a bunch of people on the first lap, you know, basically surrounded by cars. So like I said, I think the first lap, I'm gonna be aggressive this race, but I think the first lap I'm just gonna try to avoid trouble and then wait for things to start to thin out before I start making moves, which is normally kind of my plan in most cases anyway. You know, the wait for things to start thinning out and let the race come to me. Whereas, you know, I was a little bit out of character last race because I was frustrated with the dirty racing, and I decided I was going to take matters into my own hand and then start forcing the issue. All right, let's get this headset on. Let's get suited up. Right. Let's give ourselves a little bit of volume here. So where do I qualify? Ninth. Well, based on these lap times, I have a legitimate shot at finishing in the middle of the pack, because the last race where I made it a point to be a little bit more aggressive, I actually did a 2:07.9 in that race. So actually, if I can put up those kind of numbers again, hell, I can probably do the unthinkable and not have a legitimate shot to win the race. But as far as I'm concerned, I kind of got to get through lap 1 first, maybe even lap 2. Right there, it's a marathon, not a sprint, folks. Another guy said, let's have a clean race. You can forget about that. Let's go. seems out of sync, please let me know. Here we go. If that would have been Le Mans Ultimate, my goose would have been cooked. Who didn't see that coming from that idiot? It's only lap 1 and these guys are dive bombing. good turn.
Hi, is the PSVR 2 worth it?
What exactly would you be looking for? You know, because there's standalone, you know, with the Quest, there's PC VR, and then there's PSVR 2. So I guess it all depends on what you're looking for. If you want to remain within the PlayStation ecosystem, then I'd probably say yes, that the PSVR 2 is worth it. But when it comes to sim race...
Sergio Chacon said, I'm planning to get mines.
Okay. Now when it comes to sim...
Sergio Chacon said, I'm looking for PSVR 2 just to play GT7.
Okay then, let's work. That guy behind me, if he catches up to me, I'm not going to spend this whole race fighting. If he catches me, I'm not going to fight him this whole race. I'll just let him go. And then I'll pit and go for an undercut. I don't want to get caught up in a fight with this guy because I'm scared he might dive bomb. I'm scared he might push me out of the way. So I'm just going to come in, get tires, let him go, and then as the other cars start making their way in, hopefully I'll get free passes. So I came out of the pits in 9th place. If I can maintain my pace and I keep clean, I'll eventually get back to 4th place. pay dearly for that. we go, the penalty. I can see him slipping further and further away. It's gonna take some work to walk him down. There we go, nice work. Let's see what he does. Is he going to try to block me or take me out? He lost it! He lost it trying to keep up with me! I got my podium! At this point, just keep the car on the track. I'm a whole second off pace, but so what? Just keep the car on the track. All right, way to come back from that disastrous stream earlier. Andy Mac, if you should happen to see this stream at a later date, shout out to you for not taking me out when I got past you, because that's, you know, that's the name de bois of a lot of GT7 drivers. They see you somebody's going to get past them, they'll clip them and take them out with a pit maneuver. Thank you so much for keeping it clean. I really appreciate it. And to all the other people in this race, if they should happen to see this stream, those of you that race clean, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Chat. Thank you for the clean race, everybody. Really appreciate it. That was huge. That was huge. Because I think I started that race out in 9th place and raised it 6 positions. Excellent.
Gory Glory 0209 said, Hey VR Godfather. Gory Glory 0209 said, Wow Podium in GT7.
Yeah, tell me about
Gory
it.
Glory 0209 said, That's one of a kind.
Actually, Gory, when I was in the C class and I was working my way up, I was winning a few races and I was getting a lot of top 5 finishes. Once I got to the B class, I still won a few races, but they didn't come as often. And then I had that moment where I made it to the A class for a moment, and those guys were fast, and I had some bad races, and I got knocked back down to the B class, and I haven't been able to get back to the A class ever since, mostly due to dirty racing. And so today was a rarity, at least for this race. I did enough to win the race, and nobody was dirty. At least the guys that I encountered. I only made one aggressive move on someone, and the guy seen that I was coming through, and he fought me for one corner, and then once he saw that I was determined to get past him, he moved over and let me through. So, wow. I don't know which is more shocking, the podium finish or the fact that nobody took me out that race. So I think we can back on out of here and go open a roulette ticket, because I don't have it in me to do another race like that, because my back is sore from all that leaning, because this is like the 3rd race that I've done today. So I've done I've done like around 70 laps today, not including the qualifying laps and practice laps. So I've done a lot of racing today, and my back is sore. I just don't have it in me to do another one. And plus, I think I want to go ahead and leave this on a good note. So let's go open my roulette ticket and see what we got. See what kind of BS they're going to give us. Oh shoot, I gotta take this car in for an oil change. The oil's worn. All right, let's get this ticket first. We'll take this car in for an oil change. All right, at least they gave me a brick. They gave me a few bricks. Whoa, $500,000. Now you're talking. Hey, William Snake.
Son said, "Congrats on the podium, dude."
Thank you so much. I mean, that kind of wipes away a lot of the frustration that I've been dealing with playing this game the last week or so, with all the dirty stuff of people knocking me off the track. Because last week I had an absolutely horrible week. So yeah, the oil's worn. Let's get the oil changed, and then we'll call it a night. All right, so we're ready for the next race, whenever that is. All right, so tomorrow's Tuesday. So we'll get new daily races for Le Mans Ultimate tomorrow. So like I said before, I will look to stream Le Mans Ultimate either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then we'll go from there. I don't want to get too far into the end of the week and start plotting out the rest of the week, because I don't know how that's going to go. So at this moment, I'm just going to say the next stream will be Le Mans Ultimate, and it will be tomorrow or Wednesday. So thank you so much. And my back's sore. I'm going to eat some wings, have an ice cold Gatorade Zero, and sit back and watch some YouTube. So go Detroit Lions. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you soon.